this off. Well, welcome everyone. Glad to have you all here at Missouri Western and Chiefs Training Camp. So we thank you all for being here. You know, it's 2 years ago I was able to stand at the podium and be the MC for this, and just happens to be that 2 years ago we won the Super Bowl. So let's hope that this connection continues this year and we go on to the next Super Bowl and we win it again. So anyway, I'm Pat Dillon. I work with Mosaic Life Care, and I get the pleasure to introduce our speakers for today. So I'm going to introduce right now Michael Polito. Michael Polito is our Chief Operating Officer, and he's here to represent the hospital today. So Mike.
Thank you, Pat. And on behalf of the community of St. Joseph, we welcome the Kansas City Chiefs back to St. Joseph. For the 11th year, we are honored to be the presenting partner and the official healthcare provider of the Kansas City Chiefs training camp. We are also thankful for our partnership with Dr. Elizabeth Kennedy and Missouri Western State University. This year, more than ever, as we look at our partnership, a few things stand out. Teamwork is important. Mosaic battled a global pandemic in 2020, and we continue to in 2021. Our caregivers work side by side, and this is what we know. We know that teammates help each other. They communicate and listen to each other. They build each other up. They motivate each other when days are difficult. They care about each other. Together, they can accomplish great things. In short, they make each other better and stronger to tackle what is ahead. What else do? They work together. Our theme this year at Mosaic has been Be a Team Player, Get Vaccinated. We fought the fight against COVID for 4 quarters and thought the game was over. Now we're in overtime. Our best weapon is the vaccine. There's a simple way to live in this world of COVID-19 safely and responsibly. And it's simple. Get vaccinated. In groups where you're unsure if others are vaccinated, wear a mask, stay socially distant, and wash and disinfect your hands as much as possible. We battle different opponents, but the Kansas City Chiefs and Mosaic Life Care are excellent examples of what teams can do when they work and train together. Lastly, I'd like to take a moment to honor the work of our caregivers, especially this past year and what they're currently going through today. I'm honored to represent them and want to thank them to be recognized for the exceptional care they provided this past year and currently provide to each and every person that we serve in our communities. We are a proud partner with the Kansas City Chiefs and officially open the start of Chiefs training camp. Welcome back to St. Joseph, and go Chiefs!
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, we'll give it a hand. All right. I give the boss a hand. So it's my pleasure now, I get to introduce to her first training camp, Dr. Elizabeth Kennedy, who's the president of Missouri Western State University. All right.
Well, good morning and welcome to Missouri Western State University. I want to join Michael and our partners at Mosaic Life Care in welcoming the Kansas City Chiefs to St. Joseph. You may not know this, but I grew up in Kansas City, and I have been a Chiefs fan since way back when. We are talking Lenny Dawson area, way back when. So, and while I've only been at Missouri Western for about 1.5 years, I share in the excitement and buzz felt by everyone as we host the Chiefs once again, as they get ready for another Super Bowl bound season. Yes, we are all pretty stoked about this. Now, Michael mentioned teamwork, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the team here at Missouri Western that works hard to put on the training camp for us. Our Department of Athletics, Physical Plant, Police Department, Residential Life, Technology Services, our food service provider, Aramark, and many, many others work tirelessly during and after the 3 weeks of training camp. Together, they ensure that the Chiefs have a championship-level environment in which to train, and that the Chiefs fans have a safe and enjoyable experience while they're on our campus. But the teamwork extends beyond our campus to our outstanding community partners. Mosaic Life Care, the City of St. Joseph, Buchanan County, the Missouri General Assembly, and many, many others have worked with us to enhance training camp in ways too numerous to mention. I do want to thank all of our partners for their tremendous support. And finally, I'd like to thank President Donovan and the Chiefs for continuing to make Missouri Western their summer training camp home. We have very much appreciated our association with the Chiefs and believe that both we and the community have benefited greatly. Thank you. And finally, it just remains for me to say, go Griffs and go Chiefs. Thank you.
All right. It's always an honor when we're here to have Mark Donovan, president of the Kansas City Chiefs, with us. He comes up and kicks off the camp, so it's a great pleasure that I introduce Mark Donovan.
It's good to be back. And I will say, again, it's good to be back. You know, it's been quite a run being here. And I was thinking back as we were coming out to camp, just how long it's taken to get back here and all the things we've been through and the pride that I have for our organization to get through a season last year and to find a way to safely have fans in our building and to have the success that we had on the field and just how we overcame so many challenges. And as I was going through that thought, it gave me perspective on the fight that Michael and his team at Mosaic Life have been through. And I echo your comments that, gosh, we should all be so thankful for those frontline workers and what they do and what they continue to do to keep us safe, to allow us to have a football season, to allow us to have fans in our building. So thank you for that. I think it's worth acknowledging. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. Appreciate the kind words. 2009, 2010, we started an effort to bring training camp back to the Kingdom. And through a great partnership with the state of Missouri, with St. Joe, with Missouri Western, and at the time, a little healthcare company called Heartland Health, we were able to put together a partnership that made it make sense to bring it back. And you know, when you're in that process and you're negotiating that deal and you're trying to take everything into consideration, you're focused on what it can do for the community and what can it do for our football team and how can it be successful for all of us. And you sort of set your own key indicators and key measurements. You know, I stand here today, 12 years later, saying that from a Chiefs perspective, we have exceeded our expectations. We have over-delivered. And I hope that the same is true for the city, the county, the university, and for Mosaic Life Care. It's been a great partnership. It's been not without its challenges, year in, year out. But I think the words were said very well before, that that's where partnership comes into this. And every one of those challenges, we found ways to work through that. I definitely want to acknowledge the university. I want to thank Josh Looney for his work and efforts getting us here today and getting us back here today. I want to thank the entire team's patience as we worked through a lot of things. If you remember, we were renegotiating our deal, extending our deal going into last year. And we had figured out a way to do that, and then all of a sudden COVID hits, and you got to sit back down at the table and say, how are we going to do this? How are we going to continue to bring this camp back here? And I reiterate that partnership point. To have those conversations with a team that understands your objectives, understands the importance of making this a very successful camp for our football team. I also want to echo Dr. Kennedy's words about the Missouri Western staff. I can't tell you how important it is, day in and day out, the people at this university from the athletic department, from the operations department, from the food service department, from the dorms. Boy, we put a lot of challenges on your organization. And we talk from a football perspective about how every single rep matters. So when you're in training camp, you need to have every single rep matter. And there can't be reps taken away because of field not being ready, or a dorm issue, or food not being ready, or something wrong with the schedule, or the air conditioner not working in the indoor. And that goes back to that partnership. Missouri Western understands how important it is. And that's what's made this partnership really, really successful. I do want to comment one more thing on the Missouri Western side. Lots of changes from where we've been 12 years ago to today. This past year, some significant changes. One that you'll be able to see and will impact our fans directly is a new fan viewing area at the end zone of the practice fields, which we think will create a really cool gathering space for our fans. The second, which our fans may not see the impact of, but I will tell you from our organization, the improvements to the Scanlon Hall, which is the main dorm for our team, our players, our coaches, our staff. These are the people who are up here for the next couple weeks living here, getting back into dorm life. All the improvements that have been made are really, really appreciated and make their lives a little bit easier and make them a little bit more efficient, hopefully. St. Joe, the community's been so supportive of us. I want to thank Bill McMurray, the mayor, Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well as the Chamber, for all their support. It seems like every year we come back and it just gets bigger and bigger. I've told this story before, but when I'm up here for camp, I take some time to just get into the community, and I'm usually looking like this. And it's pretty obvious that I'm with the Chiefs, and every single person I meet, not only do they acknowledge it, but they thank us for being here. And that means a lot to us as an organization, and hopefully that's a reiteration of just the impact we're having positively on the community. So the coaches, players have been back for a little bit. They're excited to be back. Obviously, when you kick off your 21 season, going for your 6th straight AFC West championship, your 3rd straight Lamar Hunt Trophy, and your 3rd straight Super Bowl appearance, there's a lot to be excited about. This team is excited about it, and I would tell you that our fan base is bouncing off the walls, getting ready, and we appreciate that. It's what makes us go, and it's what really keeps us going. A couple changes to camp this year based on both COVID and protocols and creating a safe environment and just being a little bit more efficient. Our fans have already seen we've gone to a ticketing process where our fans will actually go to our Chiefs Kingdom Rewards website and sign up for free and then sign up for tickets. It gives us a way to track who's here and manage the crowds a little bit better. We haven't instilled a cap on that number for each practice. I would tell you that the cap is more for us than for our fans. The cap is actually much higher than our average for the last few years at camp. It's just a way for us to manage it. One of the lessons we took from COVID last year was just be prepared. Things change every day. And this gives us just a different way to track what's going on. If we do need to make changes, we have an efficient way to communicate and make those changes. The unfortunate changes as it comes from COVID and some of the protocols that are in place to first and foremost keep our players and coaches safe is obviously access to our players. So one of the best things about camp is the interaction with our fans and our players. That's not possible. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do the autographs after every practice like we used to. And we're not going to be able to do our helmet walk, which is one of the coolest things to see a young child carrying the helmet of a big football player up the hill after a hard practice. We're doing our best to make up for that. One of the things that the ticketing process helps us with is we register everybody and scan them as they come in. As they come in, they'll be scanned and registered for an opportunity to win autographed items every single day. And we'll continue to learn as we go here. I would leave you with this. The excitement is palpable. I would say, over a decade later, to be standing here today and knowing just how efficient we are, what a great partnership we have, it really does set us up for success. And we stand here very appreciative of that and very excited about our future. So thank you very much. Michael, if you wouldn't mind stepping up, we're going to do our traditional.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Yeah. Yeah.
So at this time, this oh, nice. Let me fix somebody's mic. I don't know whose it was. There we go. At this time concludes the press conference. We're going to ask the speakers to remain up here, and then they'll be able to take some questions and answers. So thank you all for being here, and I'm going to turn it over to Joey to the questions to Mark. Is Mark going to come up?